Imagine you're rushing through a crowded street, late for work, earbuds in, notifications buzzing on your phone. Someone drops their groceries right in front of you. Bags split open, apples rolling everywhere. Do you stop to help? Or do you keep walking, telling yourself you're too busy? In a world that never slows down, kindness can feel like a luxury we can't afford. But what if one simple act could change everything? Today, we're diving into a story that's thousands of years old, but feels like it was written for 2025. A story that might just change how you see the people around you. Introduction to the Good Samaritan. That story is the Good Samaritan, a parable Jesus shared to show what true kindness looks like. If you've heard it before, stick with me, because in a world obsessed with hustle and productivity, this story hits harder than ever. Back in Jesus' time, people were busy too, maybe not with emails and deadlines, but with their own struggles and schedules. Yet, this story, found in Luke 10, cuts through all of that noise. It's about a man who's beaten, robbed, and left for dead on a dangerous road. 3 people pass by, but only one stops. Why? That's what we're unpacking today. Because in 2025, when we're all running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, this story asks us a question. Are we too busy to care? Let's find out what makes this Samaritan different, and what he can teach us about living with heart in a world that keeps us distracted. Breaking down the story. Picture the scene. A lonely road between Jerusalem and Jericho, dusty and notorious for bandits. A man lies there, bruised and bleeding, his clothes torn, his hope fading. First, a priest walks by. You'd think a religious leader would stop, right? But he crosses to the other side and keeps going. Maybe he was late for a temple meeting, or maybe he thought the man was already gone. Next comes a Levite, another holy man. Same thing. He sees the injured guy, hesitates, then walks away. But then, a Samaritan shows up. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Samaritans were outsiders, despised by the people listening to Jesus. Yet, this guy doesn't just glance and move on. The Bible says,
"But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him."
He bandages the man's wounds, puts him on his donkey, and takes him to an inn, paying for his care out of his own pocket. Why would an outcast risk so much for a stranger? In 2025, we're surrounded by strangers, on the subway, in coffee shops, even online. Do we see them the way this Samaritan did? Or do we keep scrolling, keep rushing, telling ourselves someone else will handle it? Kindness versus busyness. Let's be real, kindness isn't always easy. In a world where we're juggling work, family, and endless notifications, stopping to help feels like a detour we can't afford. Maybe you've been there. You see someone struggling, but your brain says, I've got my own problems. The priest and the Levite in the story, they're not villains. They're just busy. They had places to be, roles to play. But the Samaritan, he chose differently. He didn't let his schedule or status stop him. Jesus said,
"Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers?"
The answer was clear, the one who showed mercy. In 2025, our busyness can feel like a badge of honor. We wear it proudly, posting about our hustle on social media. But what if kindness is the real flex? What if pausing for one moment could mean the world to someone else? Think about the last time someone showed you unexpected kindness. A stranger who held the door, a friend who listened when you were falling apart. Didn't it feel like a gift? The Good Samaritan reminds us that kindness doesn't need a perfect moment. It just needs a willing heart. Practical lessons for today. So, how do we live like the Good Samaritan in a world that's always on fast forward? First, start small. You don't need to save the world, just notice the people around you. Maybe it's the cashier who looks exhausted. Ask how their day's going. Or the coworker who's been quiet lately. Send them a quick message to check in. The Samaritan didn't have a grand plan. He just acted where he was. Second, make kindness a habit. The Bible says in Galatians 6 verse 9,
Titus, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up.
Try setting a daily goal, one kind act, no matter how small. It could be a smile, a compliment, or picking up litter in your neighborhood. Third, use technology for good. In 2025, we're more connected than ever. Post an encouraging comment online, share a verse that lifted you up, or Venmo a coffee to a friend who's struggling. The Samaritan used what he had: oil, wine, a donkey. We've got tools he couldn't even dream of. What's stopping us from using them to spread love? These steps aren't complicated, but they're powerful. They turn strangers into neighbors, just like Jesus taught. Overcoming excuses. Now, let's talk about the excuses we all make. I'm too busy. I don't have enough to give. What if they don't deserve it? I get it. Those thoughts creep in. The Samaritan could have said the same. He was traveling, probably had his own plans, and helping a stranger was risky. What if the bandits came back? What if the man didn't thank him? But he didn't let those what-ifs stop him. In 2025, we've got our own versions of those excuses. Maybe you think, I can't help everyone, or what's one small act gonna do? But here's the truth. Kindness isn't about solving every problem. It's about showing up where you are. Jesus didn't ask the Samaritan to fix the whole world, just to help one person. The Bible says in Proverbs 3 verse 27,
Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to act.
You have the power to act, even in small ways. So next time you feel that nudge to help, but your mind starts listing reasons not to, pause. Take a breath, and choose to be the neighbor someone needs. The ripple effect of kindness. Here's the beautiful thing about kindness. It doesn't stop with you. The Good Samaritan didn't just help one man. He inspired a story that's been changing lives for centuries. Think about it. One act of compassion, and here we are, still talking about it in 2025. Your kindness works the same way. Imagine you help someone pick up those spilled groceries. They feel seen, maybe smile for the first time that day. Then they hold the door for someone else, who pays it forward with a kind word. That's the ripple effect. I heard a story once about a woman who left a generous tip for a struggling waiter. That waiter used the extra cash to buy diapers for a single mom he knew. That mom, feeling supported, volunteered at a shelter, touching dozens of lives. All because of one tip. The Bible says in Hebrews 13 verse 16,
And do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased.
Your small act could be the start of something bigger than you'll ever know. In a busy world that pushes us to focus on ourselves, kindness is a rebellion, a way to say, I see you and you matter. As we wrap up, let's come back to that question from the start. Are we too busy to care? The Good Samaritan shows us that kindness isn't about having extra time or money. It's about having an open heart. In 2025, with our packed schedules and endless distractions, this story is a wake-up call. You don't need to be a hero or a saint. You just need to notice the person in front of you, the one who's hurting, overlooked, or just needs a moment of your time. Jesus ended the parable with a challenge. Go and do likewise. So today, I'm passing that challenge to you. Look for one chance to be a good Samaritan this week. It might feel small, but it could change someone's day or even their life. Thank you for watching, for caring, for being part of this journey to make the world a little kinder. Before you go, I want to hear from you. What's one act of kindness you've seen or done that made a difference? Share it in the comments. I'm reading every single one, and I can't wait to hear your stories. Let's keep this conversation going and inspire each other to live with love.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, Subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.